Hobbies. What are they? Hobbies are very magical things that take up about 70 to 80% of our time, whether it's something we love doing, something we have to do, something that, okay, maybe not something you have to do, but like something that you enjoy to some degree. Hobbies have been a major part of my life since high school because I loved trying everything and anything under the sun, but especially creative hobbies. There are 5 types of hobbies that I want you to consider. There are hobbies that keep you active, hobbies that keep you creative, that make you money, give you knowledge, and improve your mindset. I wish I could find the TikTok that I saw months ago that went in depth about these kind of hobbies, but that TikTok low-key kind of changed my life because at that day that I saw it, I noticed, I was like, a lot of my hobbies keep me creative, which can say a lot about a person if you can realize where a lot of their hobbies kind of fall into. Photography, videography, drawing, journaling, music, so many different kinds of hobbies that I have, and a majority of them fall into that creative kind of category, which I think is really funny because, like, I like to think a lot of things are creative. Like, almost anything you can think about is going to be some kind of creative hobby that you enjoy doing. I think I've just kind of fallen off with my hobbies and haven't really stuck to them. Like, today when I was filming the intro, this is the first time I brought out my guitar and played it probably in like over 2 years. But that's no excuse for me not to like pursue a lot of these things that I've enjoyed. Like, playing the guitar has been something I've wanted to do since I was young. Like, I wanted to always learn how to play a musical instrument because in elementary school I learned how to play the flute. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Didn't know it was like the hardest instrument to play. For some reason, my mom wanted me to get into the drums, and I never really picked up on that, never really wanted to, but guitar always seemed cool. Like, it's a pretty classic instrument. Like, acoustic guitar, you can play pretty much almost anything on it. But, yeah, I want to be able to maybe one day write music. That'd be cool. Like, I love writing. Writing's another good hobby that I recommend anyone to pick up, is that writing is something that's so cool, and, like, you don't have to be... Your definition of good is up to you, whether you want to write poetry, stories, music, short stories, scripts. Like, writing is a big part of a lot of people's lives. Like, for me, I use it for scripting. I started writing a story in high school about, like, a murder mystery. And from there, I kind of grew a love for writing, but then kind of got burnt out from it. Yeah, and, like, writing just comes in the form of, like, essays for school, writing paperwork, like... You're doing writing pretty much every day. I'm kind of the photographer of a lot of my friend groups, and I'm known for taking good pictures. I love taking pictures. It's been kind of my day one for hobbies. And I don't know, it obviously isn't like a business for me yet, even though I like to say I have a photography business. I have not stayed nearly as consistent as I'd like to with it, but I would like to definitely get back on track with just being able to make money off of it. I mean, I'm going to just be honest, like, making money off of it would be nice, along with just rekindling that enjoyment and that entertainment I had from it. Like, photography is something that's so cool and so just, you could be so creative with it. I just need to put myself back out there. Like, there's no saying anything about it, I just need to do that, but I've loved photography ever since, like, middle school. I would take pictures every day on my walk to school, and, in high school I would take pictures for couples at football games, and I enjoyed it for the longest time. Anyways, I've had a lot of hobbies over the year. It started with photography, and then writing kind of came after that when I started writing my short story. Well, not really short story. I started kind of writing a book, which I'd also like to pick back up on. But again, it's just finding the time and the energy and just being able to give myself that, not give myself that excuse of just, I'm tired. Like, if you truly want to get something done, you'll find time to have it done. You'll make time to make it happen. I think I've talked about this a little bit on the channel, but I started a creative arts club in high school, and I kind of took it for granted. Like, I'll be honest, I wish that I had done more with it and just connected more people together who were interested in like arts, being creative. Oh, why am I yawning so much? I'm very tired today, apparently. But yeah, like I was saying, Creative Arts Club, I loved that, getting to meet a whole bunch of people, but I just wish I had done way more with it to connect people with art and find a love for something creative that they might enjoy doing. Hobbies can lead you to meet people like that, whether it's through high school or college or just being out in the world. Like, I don't think a lot of people really realize that like hobbies can be a gateway to meeting all new kinds of people. Like getting into a sport and joining a sports team, like not professionally if you don't want to, but a group in your area. Oh my god. You can find a common interest between two people and they have stuff to talk about. And from there you can get intimate. You can connect with a person on so many different levels, whether it's about passions, morals, goals, that kind of stuff. Like people can connect on these things if they have some kind of passion to connect on. Hobbies are very important because, like I've been saying, they kind of connect a lot of us. They keep us busy. Like, rather than being at home, sleeping, or doom scrolling on social media, or binge watching shows, even though that can technically be a hobby in itself, like, doing too much of something can lead it to be not very healthy for you. And so that's why having a good roundabout of hobbies can be really helpful to just keep you busy and keep you passionate about stuff. Like photography is something that I've fallen off with, but it's something that I always love. I love doing self-portrait shoots. I love going to creative meetups in my area, but I just kind of fell off with it because I had work and that kept me busy. Video editing has been something I've picked up more recently with YouTube, obviously, and I've loved it ever since. I've always had a knack for editing. I've loved doing my own editing, my own graphics, graphic design. It's another hobby. Video games. I never really would consider myself a gamer, but I got into Animal Crossing and Minecraft, those two games, and Dredge, which is on the Switch or Steam, I believe. Those are like my top 3 games at the moment because they're just very like either story or free for like a good mix of like they have some kind of story, or they're very like a sandbox kind of game where you can just kind of do whatever you want. Creative games. There we go. Because I'm really into those kind of games where you can be like creative, you can be, I don't know, you can do whatever you kind of want in the game, but there's some kind of structure you can follow, or you can set your own structure. I know that sounds very all over the place. I'm realizing myself that I'm very much a maximalist, even though I want to manifest very minimalistic energy. I love kind of spreading myself out amongst different kinds of games. I love a bit of adventure, I love a bit of creativity, story, like all that kind of good stuff. I love that in a game. Reading has been another hobby I picked up. Currently reading Butchered and Blackbird. It's about 2 serial killers who, ironically kind of fall in love. It's a very lusty kind of book, so, I mean, you've been advised. It was a TikTok find, too, also recommended by Sophie, one of a YouTuber that I watch, who does, like, book review and bullet journal content. But, yeah, this book has been, like, really good. I've loved it. I've loved reading for the past, like, I want to say, like, 3 months now. I started with Fake Dates and Mooncakes. If you haven't seen my little non-spoilery book review on that, you should go check that out. It's right up there, hopefully, if editing me remembers to put it in. And then I picked back up with Butchered, and I've loved it, even though it's, like, kind of the opposite of the kind of book that you think I'd enjoy. Like, I've actually really been enjoying it, just, I don't know what it is. It's different. I love, I'm not going to butcher the author's name, but I love just their writing style. I'm going to definitely be buying more books from them in the future. It's been one of those hobbies to keep me distracted, either when I'm just kind of feeling lost. It's good for on the bus when I'm going to work, because it's a nice, like, 40 minutes just going one way that I can kill some time by not being on my phone or not, just listening to music. Even though listening to music is, like, a good hobby, I don't know, there's something that, like, I can just get so lost in I can get so, lose track of time, basically, whenever I'm listening to music, because, like, it's just, I don't know, I'd rather hear voices speaking to me rather than, like, songs. I guess I've always been more of a podcast person, ever since, like, high school, really. I remember there was at one point where I was technically subscribed to, like, 20 different podcasts on Spotify. And I don't know, it was definitely not healthy because I forced myself to listen to, like, probably 20 plus hours of podcasts, like, a week. And then I realized I got burnt out on it because I did it too much, pretty much. And then, like, right now, I think I'm only really looking at maybe about, like, 5, maybe 10 at most. 6, and one of them has ended. So technically 5. I realized with me, a big thing is that I like to go all in with podcasts or a hobby that I'm really passionate about, and, like, just go all in. But it's just, that's kind of my downfall, because I, like, commit all this energy into doing it, and then, like, it just kind of backfires on me, because I'm like, oh, well, I'm kind of now tired of doing this thing, like, so much, and then, you know, it just kind of falls off, and then I lose interest in that kind of hobby. But I've been learning to appreciate my hobbies more and not feel so like I have to go all in, but also just not completely fall off the face of the earth with hobbies and just kind of forget about them. I can ease into them. That's what I did with reading. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to get into reading and just read, like, 10 hours a day. Like, I'm setting a goal for myself of, like, at least an hour a day. And again, like, a goal is a goal. If you, depending on, you know, what it is, like with reading, it's not like I have to necessarily go for, like, that like 1 hour a day goal, but, you know, if I go over it, yay. If I don't hit it, if I read for, like, half an hour, then hey, I read for half an hour. Like, at least I read that day. I wanted to make something a little bit more, just experiment and just trying out different stuff, you know? And apologies about the audio. I know it might be a little rough because for some reason I brought my mic, but I didn't bring my receiver. So, yeah, audio might be a little rough. But if you did enjoy this, please do consider checking out other videos by me. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to hopefully get to, like, I don't know, I'd say 200 subscribers by, like, the end of the year is reasonable. So if you could help me reach that goal, that would be super appreciated, and I shall see you in the next video.